All right, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name is Curtis, and today we're gonna be talking about some underrated fragrances. So I was actually tagged by my good friend Charm City over at the Fragrance Connoisseurs. I'll link his information down below. So go over and check out his channel. And so yeah, he had tagged me, and so this is a fun one for me to do. I really enjoy talking about underrated fragrances, and I hope I can introduce you guys to some fragrances that you're not familiar with. So if you're curious to hear about these fragrances, then let's go. First up, from the house of Dessert, we have Hana Matsuri. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with the house of Dessert, they're a Japanese fragrance brand. And I think in general, they create fragrances that are extremely transportive. They'll take you somewhere, they'll take you on a journey. And Hana Matsuri, in Japanese, Hana means flower and Matsuri means festival, so flower festival. And so my image of this when I smell this fragrance is it's kind of, I'm venturing out on a rainy day and I come to a shrine, and that shrine is surrounded by cherry blossoms. So it's kind of in the springtime, that's when cherry blossoms bloom in Japan. And yeah, the smells and aromas that not only you're getting from that wooden temple that's kind of been soaked by the rain, so you're getting but you're also getting kind of like these mossy textures from the ground and the earth, as well as the florals that are pushing out from those cherry blossoms. That's kind of what you get right here. It is a very green, slightly citrusy, woody, quite earthy, and that I think that moss in here is giving it really adding to that earthy presence. You do also have a bit of oud in here, but I feel like that's definitely in the very deep background of this fragrance. I personally can't pick up a whole lot on the oud. However, this fragrance is quite woodsy. It does have a quite woody presence to it, but it's an extremely lovely wear. And I think in general, I don't really hear anybody talk about the brand Dessert. Yeah, I mean, they're a Japanese fragrance house, and yeah, they do some very unique and interesting work. And I would say a lot of their perfumes definitely contain like Japanese ingredients. Like this has Japanese cherry blossom in it, and I think it also has like Japanese orange or Japanese mandarin in it as well. So, you know, they're trying to bring a piece of Japan and put it in this bottle here. And I feel like they've done a wonderful job at that. Hana Matsuri is definitely a great one. And I think Dessert as a house in general is a house that I want to dive into a bit deeper, because I feel like they have some really strong offerings that I feel like I'd be intrigued by. But yeah, this is a lovely one and definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Hana Matsuri by Dessert. Next up, from the house of Les Indemodables, we have Fougere Emeraude. Man, so in here you have some lavender and tuberose that is blended masterfully together. And it's such a unique take on a fougere, that genre. Typically, you don't usually find a lot of tuberose in fougères, but you have it in here and it works extremely well. I was a bit hesitant to kind of even dive into this fragrance because I'm not the biggest fan of tuberose, but yeah, it works. You know, the tuberose in here is very smooth, not overpowering. You can definitely tell that it's there, and there is quite a green presence to this fragrance, but it is a smooth wear. I think, you know, it's just blended masterfully. And the house of Les Indemodables is a house that I definitely want to dive into a bit more. I have Fougere Emeraude, and I also have Rose de Jamal, and I've smelled a few others from the house, but I really want to dive a bit deeper into that house because I feel like their blends are just so well done. And, you know, I think their approach to fragrances, you know, they are quite natural in their production. And yeah, I think just the quality and the standards is set extremely high for this house. So yeah, it's a house that I'm totally intrigued by and I want to dive in a bit deeper. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Fougere Emeraude by Les Indemodables. Next up, from the house of Anthologie, we have Mutine. Man, so this one is just very green, citrusy, floral, slightly bitter, a bit zesty. You have a little bit of sweetness in here, but this fragrance is extremely juicy. The citruses are done very well. And one thing that I found out about the house of Anthologie, they're actually the sister company to Laboratorio Olfativo. Yeah, Laboratorio Olfativo is a house that I'm a huge fan of. I have a few fragrances from them. I love their work. They have some great perfumers behind that brand. And yeah, so Anthologie is the sister company of them. And Anthologie is a newer discovery for me. I was at the No Shop one day in Tokyo, came across this brand, smelled a few of their fragrances, and I was really drawn to this one. There's a few others that I'm intrigued by as well, but this one especially really caught my attention. You know, like I said before, I'm a huge fan of green fragrances, so this one is extremely green. So if you don't like green fragrances, then you may not, you know, this may not be your cup of tea, but this is a lovely one for me. And this is the type of fragrance that fits perfectly in the springtime. You can wear this one in the summer too, but for me, this one just screams green. With that greenness and that floral presence that this has, it just fits perfectly in the spring, in my opinion. All right, so for all of you perfume nerds out there like me, I realized that this fragrance contains the note of ambretolide. So I had to kind of research and figure out what that is because I had no idea. So ambretolide is synthetic and it comes off kind of soapy, slightly sweet, even a little bit fruity when it's used in fragrances, and it helps to add diffusiveness. So it helps the fragrance to really push out. And it also kind of adds like a finishing edge. It rounds out all the sharp edges to a fragrance to make it kind of, you know, ready to go, ready to wear. It kind of finalizes the fragrance. And so I guess that's why it's used in here. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Say Mutine by Anthologie. Next up from the house of Maksim Perfume, we have Oud Indochine. Man, so if you guys have been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know that this is my favorite oud fragrance in my entire collection. This stuff is so intoxicatingly good. And this was gifted to me by Maksim Perfume, so thank you, Maksim Perfume. But man, this is such a lovely one. So upon initial spray with this one, you are hit with a heavy blast of spice. But that spice is kind of rounded out by some vanilla and beeswax. And then what's interesting too about this fragrance is in the air, I'm picking up like a tobacco-like presence, but in the note breakdown, there's no tobacco listed in the note. So I don't know if there actually was tobacco used in here, but it just wasn't listed, or if it's the combination of notes. But I definitely pick up on a slight kind of honeyed tobacco type of vibe. But when you push into the dry down of this fragrance, the oud starts to become a bit more prominent, and that oud is accompanied by some cocoa, which is giving it kind of like a chocolatey tone. But man, what a gorgeous wear this one is. And this stuff lingers in the air. Sillage and projection are massive. So when I wear this fragrance, it's one push, one spray, that's all you need. And the sprayers are really, really good here. But man, this is such a lovely and intoxicating wear and definitely one to check out. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Oud Indochine by Maksim Perfume. And finally, from the house of Bastille, we have Hors-Piste. So first off, I just want to give a big shout out to my guy Carlito. He helped me with the pronunciation of this fragrance, so thank you so much, Carlito. Man, but the house of Bastille is a house that I've been so impressed with, and it's kind of a recent discovery for me. My first fragrance from that house was Verity Nuit, which is just such an intoxicatingly good soapy style of fragrance. So yeah, I kind of dove into the house a bit deeper, fell in love with this one as well, Hors-Piste. Man, so this one is just very juicy, bright, tart green. That greenness I think is coming from the mate tea in here. But man, what a lovely wear. You're getting those blasts of citruses, but you're also kind of getting the peel of those citruses. This stuff is so intoxicatingly good. Man, and one thing that I like about the House of Bastille is that they use 95% of their ingredients are natural, and the other 5% are vegan-friendly ingredients. So you can go to their website and check all that out. They have their natural ingredients and vegan-friendly ingredients listed, so you can kind of see like what you're putting on your body. And houses like this that are really taking into consideration, I think, the environment, are houses that I'm really drawn to. So, you know, I have a lot of respect and I appreciate the direction that the House of Bastille is going into. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to diving into this house even more. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Hors-Piste by Bastille. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. And let me know down in the comment section, you know, what are some of your favorite underrated fragrances that you have in your collection? I'd love to hear them. I definitely want to keep this tag going. So I'm going to tag one of my friends, Verity, over at Verity Scents. I'll link her information here in the description below. Go over and check her channel out. She has a lot of lovely fragrances, and I really enjoy her recommendations. So go over there and check her out. But yeah, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.